Alright, so I'm here to tell you about Anatomy and Physiology, which is a new elective course here at Washburn. It's one semester, and you should take Anatomy and Physiology if you are interested in, anatomy, you didn't get enough bones or muscles in biology, you think you might go into the medical field at all, you want to take more science but not an IB science, you like science so much you want an IB science and an elective science. These are reasons to take Anatomy and Physiology. We'll cover different body systems, we'll cover muscles, we'll cover bones, we'll do some dissections, and we'll do some cool labs as well.
Anatomy was a super fun elective because we got to do many cool things like heart dissections and tons of labs.
So if you're interested in the medical field or just want to take a fun class, this is a class for you.
Hi, I'm Ms. Hausinga, and this year I teach IB Environmental Systems and Societies, we abbreviate it ESS, and a little bit about this class. This is an IB class, but it is a transdisciplinary course. So with that, it combines science and social studies, so looking at environmental issues, and then in the context of people and cultures and societies. And so with that, students have expressed that they enjoy the class because it's largely conceptual. It's making connections between things that they already are familiar with, whether it's the carbon cycle and thinking about energy sources. We're making connections between these things that they haven't thought of before. Also, we're looking at real world problems. So what are we going to do about air pollution? What are we going to do about how we grow our food? And so with that, not only learning stuff, but then applying it to real life. What are some things that we can do in our everyday lives to make better environmental choices? And so we talk about things like ecology, we talk about soil systems, we talk about the water and how to conserve water, we talk about alternative energy sources, climate change, and then population growth. So those are the main topics there.
I chose to take ESS because I wanted to learn a different type of science than the classic like chemistry, biology, physics, and I wanted to do something a little bit more interesting.
The thing that I found most interesting about this course was the different extinctions that we've learned about, as well as the animals that we've studied, like that we've learned about that have gone extinct due to human impacts.
We do a lot of things in zoology. We've dissected like a bunch of different animals. We dissected like a sponge, a fish, a frog, and a clam and some other things. But we talk about all of the different phylums of animals, and we get to like learn about a bunch of different animals that we've never learned about before. This is a millipede. I've named him Steven, but I don't know if it's a male or female.
I've touched live animals, but whenever we're doing dissections, I'm not about touching that. So if you want to join this class, but you aren't about touching dead animals and dissecting them, you go ahead and do that. All you can do is just record and not touch them at all, like me. Like, that's what I did.
My overall experience with this class is that if you really do like learning about animals and how they interact and work, then this is definitely the class that you'd want to take.
Hi, my name is Margaret McCreary. I'm a science teacher here at Washburn High School. I want to tell you about a forensic science class we offer. It's a one-semester elective class. Forensic science is an applied technology class where you apply biology, chemistry, and physics knowledge and skills to solve crimes. You will become the scientist. You will study mock crime scenes, and you will study some real-life crimes. You'll learn about different types of evidence. You will have to argue or debate whether or not the type of evidence is fair or credible to prove the innocence or guilt of a suspect. You should take this class if you're interested in law or criminology. You should take this class if you like doing hands-on activity in class. You should also take this class if you're perhaps interested in using or working in a science lab using equipment and technology to solve different problems in the future. Some of the things that we do are we take a look at fingerprints. Do you know what your fingerprint looks like? We study ballistics. We look at spent bullets and cartridges and determine whether or not they match the weapon of suspects. We use a microscope a lot Some things we analyze are hair samples and fiber samples to determine if the fibers found at a crime scene match that of a suspect. Then we do a little bit of work with blood spatter and different types of blood to determine if we can identify a suspect at a crime scene. And also we do a little mock crime with our friend the mannequin here. So really consider whether or not forensic science is a class that you might like to take here at Washburn High School.
So what kind of things do you do in forensic science?
In forensic science, we apply the different branches of science to determine a crime scene. So that basically means we have to study physics, biology, chemistry in order to, we take all those aspects of science, all those branches, and we use them as tools to help solve the crime.
I really enjoyed the ballistics unit in forensics class because I thought it was just a really interesting way to learn about some of the things that you wouldn't normally learn about in school, and it also allowed us to get some hands-on experience with some actual artifacts that were sent in for us to do experiments with. I really enjoyed the unit on blood and also the unit on DNA just because it tied really well into our biology, which is the class I took this year for science. So it kind of deepened my understanding of DNA and some other biological functions, and made, I guess, increased my interest in science overall.